Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Like I had said earlier at the introduction of my submissions, I cannot take for granted the kind and the weight that I have had and received from honorable members of this House along the motion that I introduced towards standardizing school uniforms and coming up with a government policy so that we can be able to bring some soberness in the industry. Honorable Speaker, the reason why this motion was introduced is because of the many complaints we have received as members of Parliament, especially during this time when we are introducing the junior secondary school in our primary schools. Honorable Speaker, yesterday I was in my village, in a village called Kamba, and I interacted with parents of Kanyore Primary School, one of the largest primary school I have in Githunguri, Githega Ward. And it was shocking for me to learn that most of the JSS learners are still at home because they cannot afford the new uniform that has been introduced. Remembering that they were in the same primary school, now they have graduated to JSS, the same primary school, but they have to buy new uniform. Unfortunately, Mr. Speaker, this is happening across the country. It is time for us to standardize and say, if we are to introduce new uniform, what material should we adopt? What quality? At what price should we not exceed? Because we have had schools that add profits on top of the basic requirement of uniform. A mere shirt that is worn by a boy, age 7, should not go beyond 4,500. In the market, the same shirts go for 800 or 1,000 at most. But why should a school dictate that a shirt worn by a grade 1, grade 2 boy be paid for beyond 4,500? Mr. Speaker, our schools are not business centers, but unfortunately they are becoming uniform business centers. Our teachers are not businessmen within the school compounds, but unfortunately they become active businessmen. Cartels of uniforms have come up. In my Githunguri constituency, parents are forced to go to Kiambu town, 26 kilometers. Yet we have a town in Githunguri where there are tailors. But our tailors are not involved in the making of the uniforms. A certain businessman who is moneyed has to influence the teachers to direct all the sales to their shops, and therefore rendering our tailors useless. Mr. Speaker, my motion towards standardization seeks the Ministry of Education to come up with a policy and guide on the quality, the pricing, the buying and the making, and even the color. Mr. Speaker, I have gathered a lot of contribution points from members here that we actually can standardize in counties. We can decide county 001, public schools can wear a certain color. County 022, like my county, we can standardize and direct that they wear a certain color so that we stop this whole business of uniform vending across the county. I can buy uniform in Mombasa for a child who is in Nairobi because tailors in Mombasa can make uniform in a cheaper way and make it cheaper for a parent. Mr. Speaker, I am one of those that came into this house for the second time as a member of Parliament, having campaigned along the bottom-up policy, and therefore, I would recommend that we standardize uniform through the Ministry of Education so that we can allow our tailors in the villages to start making uniforms, open up the market, create competition, and lower the price for the Kenyan parent who is suffering. And therefore, I beg to reply. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Muchomba. I really share with your sentiments. Honorable members, I order that this question be put, the question on this motion be put during the next sitting for reasons indicated under Standing Order 53.3. And now, members, I wish to recognize the presence in the Speaker's Gallery of students from Ongata Senior School, Kajiado North in Kajiado County, and students from St. Hannah's Boys High School, Langata from Nairobi County. They are welcome to follow proceedings of the House this morning. Next order.
Order number 9, motion. Continuous registration of beneficiaries to the Older Persons Cash Transfer Program in the country.
I can't see the Honorable Zambia on the front. Honorable Thaddeus Zambia.
Yes, thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that, aware that Article 57 of the Constitution outlines the measures to be taken to ensure the rights of elderly persons, noting that the elderly persons, particularly the vulnerable background, who are in the dire need across the country, require financial aid for their sustainability in regard to their health and well-being. Recognizing that the Elder Persons Cash Transfer Program, launched in 2007 with the purpose of facilitation of a monthly cash transfer to the disadvantaged and vulnerable elderly persons from identified deserving households who are 65 years and above across the country, concerned that registration of persons of 65 years and above across the country, concerned that the registration of persons of 65 years and above was last conducted in the year 2016. Constant of the fact that there are many elderly persons who have since attained the age of 65 years and are yet to be registered under the Elder Persons Cash Transfer Program, further concerned that the new entries, technological mode of fund transfer and development, digital registration of elderly persons, inadequate monitoring and irregular receipts of funds, this House resolves that the national government, through the Ministry of Labor and Social Protection, undertakes continuous and timely registration of elderly persons under the Older Persons Cash Transfer Program. Honorable Speaker, let me start by confirming that the cash transfer for older persons was launched in 2007 with the aim of providing a source of regular income for senior citizens to meet their basic needs. In 2013, there was enactment of the Social Assistance Act by the Parliament, which established the National Social Assistance Authority, tasked with providing social assistance to persons in need. The National Social Protection Policy that ensures that there is the delivery of social assistance, a right of social security to the vulnerable, is framed through the Social Assistance Act of 2013, which further led to the establishment of the National Safety Net program that housed the 5 cash transfer programs, including the cash transfer for the elderly, the coordination and overall management of the cash transfer program for the elderly rest of the national level, and that cascade to the location through sub-counties. That is the sub-county level.
Order. Don't remember we just come in. You just go back to the bar and come back and go to the right side you want to go. Go back to the bar. When you get here, you cannot just close where you've done. Just go back to the bar, bow, and come back to the house normally.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for instilling discipline to our members. They are still learning, we understand. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I was trying to say that the beneficiaries of this program have to be 65 years of age and above, under the criteria of geographical location and income. Honorable Speaker, Article 57 of the Constitution of Kenya, 2010, outlines the need to address the challenges faced by the elderly and guarantee their freedom and fundamental rights. Cash transfers for the elderly tend to ensure the challenges such as basic needs facing the elderly and that are the handrest. Most of the beneficiaries can at least afford 2 meals in a day when the funds are available, and this diminishes the chances of malnutrition. Honorable Speaker, the vulnerability of falling to heal has also been addressed through cash transfers, which help them to maintain, to access medicine and pay for their transport to their health facilities. Honorable Speaker, I am pushing to have continuous registration of the elderly for cash transfers that cannot be overstated, to be increased to ensure that the elderly live the modern life. There are so many challenges threatening the risk of poor health, sickness, injuries, poverty.